disturbed, that exploration, that inquiry about where we want to go, gets disturbed by our sense of um, what's going to happen now? What am I going to lose? Is life going to be possible? I don't know how I'm going to pay the the rent, the food, the whatever. And we go into a fearful state. So the great sages said, there is nothing to fear because we're all one. So keep that in mind as we enter this meditation this evening. And let's treat this fear as something to be looked at, to be explored, to be poked and questioned, and try to understand where do our fears come from, and how can we step beyond them. So we can begin to get into your meditation position, and close your eyes. Pay attention to the position of your spine. We'd like your spine to be aligned, that is, in an anatomically correct way, with a curve in the neck, cervical curve, a lumbar curve, but especially a sense of alignment and a sense of exhilaration. It takes a little time to develop your meditation posture, but each time you sit, it becomes easier. Maybe some days it's not so easy, and other days it becomes easier and easier. So you want to just take a moment to go through from the top of your head, through your body, noticing, are there areas that are tense and tight? Paying attention to the scalp, your forehead. If you feel you're holding some tension there, just allow that to melt away. And then around the eyes, it is said that if the face can be relaxed, the whole body will relax, because each area of your face is connected to some part of your body. So allowing your eyes and the little muscles surrounding your eyes to relax. And then the area around the nose and cheeks. Our facial expression muscles. Well, in this time of meditation, we don't have to maintain any particular facial expression. So we can relax the area of the cheeks and the jaws. Relax the area around the mouth. And relax your tongue. If your tongue is tense, you're probably verbalizing mentally. And we don't need to do that right now. We want to let that go for later. So allowing the tongue to relax, the root of the tongue. It's a wonderful relief to release the tension in these parts of your body. And your shoulders. Allow the shoulders to float, like your shoulder girdle is floating around your spinal column. Hmm. And then your arms, upper arms, your forearms and your hands. If they're tense, you are holding the intention of action, to do something with your hands. But right now, we don't need to do anything with our hands. So releasing that intention to act frees up energy that can move back to the spinal column, flowing up and down the spine. So all that energy of tension and intention in the arms can be released. The hands, and then move your attention to your chest and your torso. Releasing tension in the chest allows the breath to move freely. All these areas of tension that we carry in order to present ourselves in a certain way in the world. We have this great luxury as we meditate of letting all that go. It's a great liberation. And then move your attention on down to the abdomen, the hips, the pelvic area, releasing any tension there. The floor of the pelvis. And then the muscles of the back of the legs, the glutei and the hamstrings. Just see if you can release tension there too. And now the knees, lower legs. And finally, the feet, the arches of the feet, the toes. This little systematic relaxation is very helpful. And you can do it every time when you sit. Some days you will notice that you really need to do it because you're feeling tense and tight. And other days you may not need to as much. So you don't have to be compulsive about it, but it's a very good policy to relax the body before you try to move into meditation. It automatically brings a state of more peacefulness. Which is one giant step away from fear. And now let's turn our attention to the breath. Just observe the breath. This is a great accomplishment and a great technique to simply allow the breath to be and observe it rather than trying to fix it or make it do something special. There are techniques for that as well, but this simple awareness of the breath is in and of itself a very advanced and powerful practice. So observe your breath. Notice what part of your body expands most when you inhale and contracts most when you exhale. Notice the rate of your breath, fast or slow. The Swara yogis who work with breath say that life is measured in breaths. You have so many breaths, so don't be in a hurry to use them all now. Allow your breath to have a leisurely pace. This is just allowing. This is not something you have to do. It's just to be aware of your breath and its rate and rhythm. Notice the rhythm. Regular or irregular. Don't try to make it something it's not. Just observe it. And if there's any noise made by your breath, the noise tells you where you're tight. Just observe that, where you're constricting the passageway to some extent. We constrict it to make sounds. I'm doing that now to speak. And now that you've brought your breathing into awareness, you're opening another world, the world of the flow of energy. The world of the vitality of the universe and of planet Earth. That flows between you and the plants and the animals and the sky and the earth. The sages called it prajna, the first knowing, knowing the vital connections, the vitality, the vital force moving through us all and connecting us to the earth. When we disconnect from the earth, then we begin to feel lost and alienated and fearful. So connecting to the earth. So just imagine you're exhaling down through your spine, through your feet, into the earth beneath you. Inhaling back up and exhaling down into the earth, through your legs, through your feet, rooting yourself. You are home on on planet Earth. Hmm. Notice how connected you are or how disconnected you are from the earth. One of the great practices is to be outdoors with your hands in the earth, planting and weeding, connecting with Gaia, tending her, appreciating her. Mm. Allowing her energy to nurture you. Well, how can there be fear when you're in the lap of the mother, right? Mm. When the first chakra connects down to anchor you and root you in the earth, you feel solid and steady. When the first chakra is disconnected from the earth, you feel fearful, at a loss. Letting your attention move down on exhalation. Hum. Last time those of you who were with us last time, we used the sound hum to move down to connect into the earth. And then we use the sound so to move upward toward the source of consciousness, toward the unitary consciousness. As some traditions would have it, the great central sun. Some traditions say Father, Son, Mother Earth. Many ways of speaking the simple truths of connectedness. So inhaling up, exhaling down. continue that process of following the breath downward. On exhalation, then following the breath back up. On inhalation, allowing that nurturing energy to come up. So what do I need that she doesn't give me? She gives me everything. My life, my food, her love. So feeling that connection, accepting that nurturance, rejoicing in that, feeling gratitude for that. As we feel that, we can let go of our sense of uncertainty or concern about how are things changing? How will I manage? Am I going to have what I need? And I'm going to offer you um, a little hint about how to explore this. Swamiji said, learn to distinguish between wants and needs. Learn to distinguish between wants and needs. Looking inside, what are the things that I want that I'm afraid I won't get? What are those things that I really want that I'm afraid I won't get? And then ask myself, but what do I really need? I can say, I've always gotten what I really needed. What I really needed. Why would that change now? But what I want. Do I really need that? Is it truly a gift not to get what you want but don't need? Is it really a gift to not get what you want when it's not what you need? Can I be grateful for for getting what I need and grateful for not getting what I want? Can I be grateful for that? And then inhaling up to your heart center. Letting your attention rest on the heart center. What happens at the heart center when you explore these questions? Mm. Notice what you feel in the heart center. As you think about letting go of your wants and graciously receiving what you need, what you truly need. Notice what happened in the heart center. And remember the seed sound for the heart center, which is yum, 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 yum. Mm. Thanks for all I have received and do receive. Yum, yum, yum. Mm. Just sit with that for a few moments. So can feelings of fear be a reminder that I need to go back and revisit these questions? What am I afraid I will lose? What am I afraid I won't get? Can I be content with what I need and getting what I need for this lifetime, for this exploration, for this experience of being human, that what I need is coming to me? And can I be in a state of santosha, of contentment? Ah, yes, I can rely on getting what I really need. And I'm grateful and I'm fearless. So let the experience of fear be a nudge to remember, go back, think about those things. Find my place to stand rooted in the earth in gratitude for all that comes my way. All the challenges, all the nurturance, all the difficulties, all the situations that push me to remember who I am, why I'm here. So following the breath from the heart center up with the sound so soaring upward, following back down with the breath to the root chakra and on down into the earth with the sound hum. Allow myself to feel at home, rooted, grateful, serene. And when you're ready, you can let your attention drift back up to the heart center. Settle in there for a few moments. And now let your attention expand outward from the heart center, upward and outward and downward, but anchored at the heart, reaching up with inhalation, reaching down with exhalation, but centered at the heart, reaching to the right, reaching to the left, bringing attention back into my arms, my hands. Imagine all of us coming together for this meditation in a great non-spatial circle that we connect to on the right and the left and all around. And when you're ready, you can slowly raise your palms to cover your eyes. Enjoying that darkness, that rest. And then when you're ready, you can begin to let your hands float to your lap, keeping your gaze fixed on your palms. And now, when you wish, you can begin to move your gaze around, away from your palms, back to what is around you and to all your fellow meditators. And as you come out of the meditation, be sure to take your time to unfold your legs and massage them a little bit. And be gentle with your body. And we'll have a little time for any questions, or comments, or input that any of you would like to
Turn my volume on slightly.
I think all you have to do is speak, and you will appear enlarged on the screen. So if you have questions, you can just speak up. Make sure you're not muted. And if you're not ready to talk, that's understandable. Coming out of meditation is not the best time to be talking, but that's what we have.
Hi. Hi. I have a question or question. Is that I find when I'm here in my home.
Yeah, can you speak up a little bit? I've not.
Yeah, when I'm here at home, I feel solid. I don't feel the fear. But I have to go out and go grocery shopping, for example, and then I feel like it just attaches to me, and it takes me 2 or 3 hours after I get home to let it go again. I'm just observing that, and I guess I'm looking if you have any suggestions for that.
Yeah, try doing it with the mantra. Try doing it with Soham. Try remaining conscious of the Soham while you're in the grocery store. That'll be interesting. Interesting experiment. Yeah. It's not just, mantra is not just for meditation anymore. It's for everywhere, all the time. We need it. Any other questions? Oh,
I do.
yeah.
I do.
I like questions. Yes, please.
No, you do. Here's my question.
Good.
You said a lot of not wanting, not needing. in the like there were a couple double negatives in the meditation, and then I got confused.
Yeah.
And I got confused around, am I not wanting and not needing, or I got confused. And then I got curious about the interconnectedness between desire and wanting, and just needing some clarification from you about wanting and desiring and needs.
Yeah. There is in that comparison, or in that contrast between wants and needs. The word want has a kind of special meaning in that pairing of words, because it's like, this is something I want, but it isn't really something that is necessary for my existence, or necessary even for my well-being. Because what is good, what is necessary for my well-being is what I need, but what is just something that I would really like to have is what I want. And so that's a helpful distinction. So as we study that, we begin to realize, or at least that's my experience, that I begin to realize that there isn't very much that I really need. I mean, I need food, and that's really important. But not every food do I need. Some I want, but I don't really need. And when I eat the foods that I want but don't necessarily need, I don't feel so good. But when I eat what I really need, I feel great. So, that's it's an exploration and experiment to do around wants and needs. Um, so part of our fear of what's going to happen, and am I going to be able to pay the bills? What's going to happen in the world? Well, what do I really need to have happen? I need to be able to have good quality food, and I can take care of that. And I'm working in the garden today, and do whatever you need to do to find food that is really of good quality. But it can be very simple. Beans and rice and vegetables is basically what I need. And I need clothes when it's cold, but I have clothes. And at Earth Haven, where I live, we have a free store. You can always go get a shirt and some pants or a jacket. Or if not, you can go to Goodwill and get it very cheap. So I don't really need, and we do shop at Goodwill. I mean, what I need in terms of clothes is very, very accessible. I'm not going to go without. And I need shelter, but it doesn't have to be that a huge shelter. And it can be a shelter that I share with other people, or other functions, or have people come here for workshops or whatever. So I don't really need much. Yeah, I mean, that's what comes out of that inquiry from me. And I invite you to do your own inquiry, your own exploration of, well, what are the things I want? And I'm really just, I want those. And what are the things I need? And the different quality of how I feel when I get what I need. I mean, the Rolling Stones said it. You may not be able to get what you want, but you sure are going to get what you need. And this is a big deal, and something that really makes a difference if we can look at it that way. Well, what if I lose my stock portfolio? Well, do you really need that? Well, then how am I going to da 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 da? Well, maybe you don't need to do those things. This is a great time for coming to grips with our place in the world, as far as fear, and as far as anxiety. That most of the anxieties and fears are really just not necessary. And the truth is that if we really got what we wanted all the time, life would be a mess. So we should be grateful that we don't get, that was my double negatives, I'm sorry, but we should be grateful that we don't get what we don't need, you know. But realize that if we look back, I mean, it's always seemed that way to me and for most people I know, that if I look back, I pretty much got what I really needed for my journey on planet Earth and my learning on planet Earth. I really got what I needed. And I would have never thought to want that. Yeah. So Liz, does that sort of clarify a bit? Everybody's pictures frozen in place. Okay. Any other comments, questions, inquiries, sharing?
Hi,
Yes.
hi, Swami Ravi.
Hi.
Um,
Speak a little loud.
I just, sorry,
Yeah.
is that better?
Yeah, much.
I'm not sure if Liz had more of a question in that. I understood a little bit more of a question in that, and so I will kind of repeat another piece of what I thought that she was asking,
Okay.
which was around the role of desires in that whole dynamic between wanting and needing. That our desires, I believe in this lineage of Tantra, we talk about how our desires help to lead us on our path, and maybe how to discern that between the wants and the needs.
Yeah, well, see that these words can mean so many different things. You know, desire. So I think the purpose of this other distinction was to sort of drag it out of ambiguity and say, is it something I want or something I need? My desire. So yeah, I mean, you know, we would like to say that our desire will lead us toward our dharma, what we're here to do. But will it? We have to explore the feeling we have when we say, I desire that. And we, you know, mostly our desire might take us in the general direction of what our purpose on life is here, but we're going to get jerked around a lot if we just depend on that, because it's like, no, it wasn't that. Oh, over here. And you go, oh, okay. And we have to be willing to let that desire prompt us to go for another step, but not to get stuck on it. Like, okay, I have to have this, because chances are life is going to offer you something not quite that. And that's probably what you need. So let's not be too stuck on the word desire. You know, the Dagar people say, desire is a horse waiting to carry you to spirit. But you don't just give the horse free rein. You know, you have to kind of guide it a bit. Well, thank you all for coming and meditating and joining us. We'll be doing another one next week, and we'll continue our little inquiry into the what meditation, how to use meditation to situate ourselves in this world of amazing changes and conditions and challenges. So join us again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care.
Rudy G. Rudy G, this is Andy Futterman. I'm on audio only.
Hi. Great to hear your voice. See you picture somewhere there.
I'm on just audio. Yes.
Oh, you're on the phone.
Nice to connect.
Okay, great. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Swami. I just want to say hello to Adam and Stephen.
Okay, thank you, thank you, thank you. See you next week. Thanks, JG.
No.
It is 10:30?
Yep.
No, who's that?